Welcome back to Darren 6772. We're back. Yep, are we back? Yep, the light's flashing, we're back. Let's talk seat covers for a minute. Yeah, I spent most of the day on this thing, but I'm happy. It went together quite well. It's tedious, it's slow. Left the original tags on so the next guy can be thrilled by it. I added these straps. I noticed on some of the other seat covers they come with those just to kind of keep the top from rolling over. Mine had it when I tore it apart. I'm not sure if they're factory or not. I don't know that detail. These, and I don't usually talk about companies, and this isn't a review and this isn't negative and all that kind of stuff, but I did want to cover it. So this is what came in, oh, I haven't said it yet. The 1971 Cheyenne in Spanish gold. It came with these seats. It came with the seat covers that look just like these. I'm impressed. I like the fact that they went to the extra effort to use the heated, well, they're melted right in. That's the way they did it back in 71, the design. They're put together pretty good. I mean, I talk about a lot of junk, but these are put together pretty good. Although I do have a complaint or two. We'll flip them around and I'll show you how they worked out here in just a hot second. You know what? Let's just do it right now. Let me get you. Let me get you on the tripod. This is going to be great. But I do want to show you some details. I think you'll enjoy it. If you're ever going to put seat covers on something, it's nice to see this kind of thing. So I'll get you a little closer. Just be patient with me. I've worked, struggling with this all day. It stands up on its own one way, but not the other. I don't know. Let me get the trash can in here. I didn't go away. I'm right here. So, yeah, we're looking at the bottom, or the back, or however you want to look at it. And I want to get you up high, too, to show you that. Let's get you right in there. And I can show you what I'm talking about. So, when you put these seat covers on, you do a lot of sweating. But you put these hog rings in right here. Of course, you put them in different places, but on the top, I don't believe you put them any farther than that, but you have to pull the top over and hog ring these in. I can show you one of those in a minute. And then this whole bottom, while it's still two parts, two pieces, this is the important part we'll talk about in a minute. But you put these hog rings in here and here and here. They're spaced out, and that one doesn't really have spots. I just picked the same equal distance. Anyway. And that's about the distance they were on the ones that took off. But I'm not a mechanic. Don't do this for a living. All right, here's the tops where the top comes down and the strap goes across here. I thought they turned out quite well. Very professional. It's gonna look pretty much original. I don't think anybody will know. Oh, they'll know. Because a 51-year-old seat don't look that nice. And I just installed the seat cover. So we talked about, now that we're talking about companies, I got more. Let's go in the truck. And we're going to talk about that later. I said that last time, but this time we really are. Let's go in the truck here for just a minute. And I'm not going to make this every video, but this video. These Dynamat is the name everybody seems to call these things. These are LMC brand. Just so you know, I'm not an LMC boy. These are LMC brand. Wow, that sounds funny in here. You can't even read that. There you go. And they're embossed LMC, and it works fine. The large sheets, maybe you want those. I can't remember. One of them was sold out, and then the other one was sold out, and back order everywhere. Dynamat is super expensive. So I think I ordered the LMC, and they ran out. And then I got a box of Kilsmat. And the Kilmat, I got a whole box. It wasn't that pricey. It's a little smaller. I'm going to say those are, 10 by 18s or something. I like them better. I like the size better. I like the sticky better. So I'm not suggesting you go LMC on that. See? You can't just pick one company and love them. I try. I really like LMC. They've always treated me well. They have good products. I'm not bashing them. I'm just saying nobody can have the best at everything. It just doesn't happen that way. So there's my opinion on those. Let's do a little work before I head out. It's getting quite late here anyway. But I wanted to talk about this engine real quick. Or motor. Some people call them engines, some people call them motors. I call them a motor most of the time because I realize technically they're an engine, electric is motor. We're not going to have that conversation. Except, I've never bought an engine mount, but I've bought motor mounts. So if they make motor mounts, probably a motor. Yeah, I don't have my gloves on. I'm going to put them on before we get to work. I ended up mounting up the fuel injection system, studs in there with orange Loctite. I got that all done, got lock washers on there. Let's cover lock washers. This is talking day. Let's do it. So people will tell you lock washers don't work. Lock washers work. I'm not a big fan. I like a stainless steel usually, or just a nice flat washer. Nice look. But there's times lock washers are important. And they do help hold. Now these are fine thread. If you've ever worked on a carburetor, they're fine threaded on there. And that allows you to get a little more clamping power without so much elbow. And they tend to not loosen up as quickly. But I still put lock washers on them because you don't want them sucking in air around the bottom of the carburetor, or God forbid, the whole gasket. So to get lock washers out of the way, we'll never talk about lock washers again. Yeah, you know me. I can't let it go. If you ever doubt a lock washer, put a lock washer on a trailer hitch ball bottom. Tighten it on good and tight. And as soon as you get it as tight as you want to get it, you think it's going to hold, take that same wrench that you tightened with and take it off. And boy, brother, sister, you'll see lock washers work. It will gouge the nut. It'll gouge a little burr on the bottom of the hitch. That's what keeps it from coming back off. The lock washer literally cuts into the metal a little bit and creates a burr. That galling will keep it from coming loose. And when you finally do tear it loose, you'll have stripped a little bit of metal off of one surface or the other, whichever one gives up first. And the opposite surface will have that burr on there. So I guess if somebody really cared, they could do a test and do, what do they call that? I don't know, measure the torque and how much it takes to remove a lock washer versus otherwise. But I know they work. If you don't want to use them, don't use them. Did I tell you I'm not a mechanic? You probably figured that out already. My opinion, just an old guy that's been around and seen some things. I've had some nuts and bolts come off of stuff. Then I put lock washers on them. Or you can use Loctite, orange. Orange is a Loctite to use. That's what I'm going to tell you. Well, if you want to see me do a little work, I'm actually prepared. I got my knife so I can cut my kill mat. But I don't have my gloves on. I'll be right back. You know my gloves are just right here. I'm only going to be 2 seconds getting them. Then we're going to work on that. If you don't want to see me put down more mat, then fast forward. I don't know, skip the rest of the video. But you know, at the end, if I don't get cut off first, I like to do something a little fun. But if you miss it, if I get cut off, I'll do the what is it on a separate video. Sometimes I do them on a short. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Let me get you over here where you can watch me struggle. Yeah. So we're back in here again. Yeah, back in here. I don't get things done quick as everybody else because, well, things don't go that way for me very often. Can you see? I'm going to try and get you where you can see today. You might actually be able to see something. Although I don't have a lot to do in here. And I'm not going to talk about that wiring. You don't worry about that wiring. That wiring will be just fine. You can barely see it. Right up in there, that mess. But I'll get to that. Do I climb in on the other side? I'll climb in on the other side. Why wouldn't I? Let me touch up a little more. That looks blurry, but I don't have my glasses on. Did you notice? I can't see a thing. The camera's supposed to self-focus. Wouldn't you think it would focus on itself? By itself? I don't know. Got my gloves on. All right. You see me cut. Yeah, I know. I don't have a microphone. You see me cut that. Oh, that's kind of fighty, isn't it? Oh, it's gonna make me look stupid. Yep, I don't need help looking stupid. I think there's room for me in here. Don't worry about that steering wheel. We'll get back in there in a minute. All right, I didn't see if it was focused. I'm not climbing back out. I'm in here now. Well, I'm not quite in here. I'm almost in here. I'm coming in here. I'm in here now. All right, this spot, it'd been easier if I just pulled that carpet out of there, wouldn't it? I'm not doing it because you're watching. So, again, we don't have to, yep, that's not going to bother me a bit. Don't worry about that, it's fine. Just pre-cut. Now, yeah, we're going to have to maybe cut more, but nobody's going to see it's got a different print on it. It doesn't matter. It might not be as sticky as I want to see. Not that that's going to matter. Because it's tar. As soon as it gets hot. Oh, no, I like that. Maybe it's not as thick. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you I like the Kilmat a little better. It seems to stick good. It moves good. It's my preferred sound deadener. Yeah, you don't have to do every plate. I know. But I'm doing it. So let's do it. I'm here. I'm not coming back in here. I hope not. Let's see how this cuts. We cut the other stuff on camera. I don't know. I think it cuts better. Maybe it cuts better because it's thinner. Whatever you want to do. It cuts fine, even when you cut it wrong. We'll use that over there. I'll show you how to cut this again. Did I tell you I don't do this for a living? Yeah, I think you figured that out. I figure if I spend, I don't know, 15 grand on this truck, when I sell it, I ought to at least be able to get 12 or 13. Yeah, that's about how it works too. I don't know, if I mention my wife, let's talk about, oh, wrong one. You've seen that. I did it on purpose. I've talked about my wife. Well, oh yeah, by the way, honey, if you're watching, got my gloves on. I'm married to a lovely woman. She's probably not really interested in my life story, but she is a great, great gal. Best woman I ever met in my life. She just has one problem. There's only one fault that I can pick out of her. The poor choice in men. But that's good for me. Other than that, she's as perfect as they come. I mean it. She's great. So now that I brought her up, she loves this truck. Yeah, well, she actually does like it, but I don't know. I bought something the other day. I don't know, it was like an hour. A couple hours, it doesn't matter. She's like, what'd you spend that money on? Holy moly. Oh, your truck, honey. Your truck. No, she's just checking. It's a good idea to keep track of stuff. I'm sure she's thrilled with all the money I spent on this. But probably not bothered by it. I mean, she understands. She understands we have habits. Hey, but it could be worse. You got worse habits than working on vehicles. Now, do I go over the hump? We talked about this last time. Here we are again. If I go over the hump, it'll help stretch the carpet. It makes a difference. I'm gonna go over the hump. I don't really want to. I wish I had somebody clean my shop up when I do this. I don't know if I want to go over the hump, but it's done now. There she is. It ain't gonna matter. But I feel better. I do like the Kilmat, I gotta tell you. Maybe it's a better print. Maybe it's something that stupid. I don't think it really makes any difference. Oh, hey, I can use that piece. This stuff's great. You just keep using the pieces on a different spot. I'm going to cut her on that because it's going to make me look like I did something fancy. So just cut in here. Actually, every time you cut this and you throw a little piece away, that could have been used somewhere. I might save that. Throw it right down in the... Yeah, I'm going to save it all right. I'll be back there fishing that out when we turn the camera off. When you're not watching, something for later. Always something for later. I'm never going to get this truck done. That's okay. These guys that knock these trucks out and get this stuff all finished up, man, I'm just... Oh, these old feet. Did I tell you I'm getting old too? It's pretty comfortable in here. So I'm not... Gas tank. I'm leaving the gas tank in. It doesn't bother me. The saddlebag gas tanks that can get the side collision, they explode. Oh, I get that. Makes sense. These in the vehicle tanks, it's in the safest place. There's crumple zones on each side. It's at the pillars, one of the strongest points of the vehicle. If you get hit there, my opinion, it's going to squirt right out to fill a hole. Put the gas out there. If you put it in the rear end underneath the box and somebody rear ends you, it can explode. There's no perfect place. The fact that we drive around with 20 gallons of the most explosive stuff you can get your hands on, not to mention it's an environmental hazard that you can't believe. I mean, we can't even buy half the chemicals we want, but yet gasoline. Anyhow, I'm not going to get into that rant today, although I just started already. I'm leaving the tank in, and it's going to have, I might buy the cardboard cover, but either way it's going to have carpet. Not this carpet. I might match some carpet, I don't know. Or maybe just black, doesn't matter, it's behind the seat, can't move the seat. But that's loud. I don't know if my phone blocks it out, but it's like banging on a drum. And when it's got fluid in it, it sloshes around. This is not comfortable as it looks. It makes some sloshy noises. I don't know if I need to go back there. I want to put this as much as I can in here, try and deaden this sound out as best I can. That's what I'm after. That looks centered. It's even too. Nobody cares. But gonna deaden sound. That's the whole point, principal purpose of this thing. Deaden that sound. Get that funky bang out of there. Not to mention, if I get thinking, talking, not thinking. If I get it quiet enough in this cab, I might be able to put a little bit of a louder muffler on it. As long as it's quiet in here, nobody will care. Who am I talking about? My wife. She don't want a loud car. I don't know that I do either, but this is going to be her baby. She might take her grocery shopping. She might want to talk on the phone, and can't talk on the phone if it's loud in the truck because of stupid kid exhaust on the thing. It's getting shinier in here every time I put one of these on. I got a whole box of these. Did you see how many I got in there? Could you see that? That's a lot. And it wasn't that expensive. I mean, I'm not complaining about it because I don't remember how much it was. I don't know if you can see, but I'm just putting one more sheet towards the back. Just on the flat surfaces. Did we discuss this already? On the flat surfaces is the most is the most important part. That's where you get that drum sound from. I'm groaning a lot. Let me tell you, I'm suffering in here. It's a lot better when I had the carpet to lay on. And if you got one of them rollers in this upright position, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea. But I bet you, when I come back out here tomorrow, that ain't gonna fall off of there. It'll be sitting right there. I even got the print up right. I wasn't even paying attention. Look, I've got these matching. Don't look at that one. All right, I'm gonna get a cramp, and if I do, I'm gonna cry like a little girl. All right. What do we do now? We go up one like this, and there. Did I say there's no wrong way to do this? I mean, whatever way I'm doing it is gonna be wrong. I already know that. I like that spot. That ain't hurt nothing, is it? You wrap around the bottom, that's pretty solid.
Let's stay towards the top. Top would probably be a little more important than the bottom. Look, I got the print right again. You know how I got the print right? Yeah, whatever guy put that in the box, or got put that in there the right way. I'm not paying any attention at all. It's going right in with the print the right way. Nobody's ever gonna see it. It'll be there, hopefully forever. I don't know. I got another little story. Are you in the stories today? They keep me from grunting so much. I rebuilt a wrecked car for my wife one time, years ago. I probably should have wiped that off. No, I wiped that all off. And I got it done. And it was pretty nice. I mean, for me. You'll see how I do for nice later. You got a pretty good idea already. And my buddy come over and stayed kind of late. He's riding his motorcycle. And he stayed a little later than he wanted. He didn't want to drive home because here in Michigan, we have a lot of deer. A lot of deer. And he's afraid he might hit one. And we were going to go riding in the morning. He asked me if I would drive him home. And I said, well, hey, I just got that car all done. Oh, that's your wife's car. I don't want to drive that. I said, it's just a car. Take that car, go home, get a good night's sleep, and we'll see you in the morning. You're coming right back. You're not even going to have to make a special trip. So on his way home, or on the way back in the morning, I can't remember, he hit a deer with my car. Oh, smashed it. Smashed it good. Like, totaled it. I don't believe my wife ever drove it, not even once. She might have. You know why I forget? Because that's not important. What was important is a friend of mine didn't hit that deer on his motorcycle. I'm going to brush that off. Didn't hit a deer on his motorcycle. He hit it with my car. And he's very likely in better shape hitting that deer with my car than on that motorcycle. And he called me quite upset. I mean, come on, he felt bad. You wrecked my car. And I said, dude, you wrecked my car. I did not. I didn't say that. But he felt horrible, and I told him, and I meant it from the heart. I'm like, buddy, it's just a car. It's just a car. Make new ones every day. They don't make these every day. But the point is, it's still just a car. I'm glad my buddy was okay. We ended up going on that trip. We had a great time. Didn't matter. My wife got something else newer, better. It's probably junk. I think it was, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So when it comes to these trucks, and cars, and you get them all done, you spend all this time just massaging them like I'm doing and getting everything just the way you want it. And then something terrible happens. Somebody wrecks it. I shouldn't even worry about that spot, should I? I'm here. I might as well do it. It's not what's important. I've enjoyed doing this work on this, not today. I haven't enjoyed a lot of this today. This seat covers and, oh, that's comfortable. I'm good now. If I cramp now, I'm in trouble. Fixing them up, working on them, this is enjoyable. This is my time. And if my wife decides to keep this and make it her daily, and she ends up hitting a deer or somebody rear ends her or totals it out, she don't need to feel bad because it's just a car. In this case, a truck. Besides, if she wrecks it, gives me an excuse to start another one. I don't need an excuse, but just trying to look at the good points of things. Well, I don't know if you work on these or not. I hope you enjoy watching me work on them. We do some interesting stuff with them. Nothing's perfect. Nothing has to be perfect. It's just a car. I'm making it way better than it was, and I'm making it way more enjoyable to drive. This vehicle, I don't know the story on it. I would have told you already, but it had vines growing on it because I could see the little, I don't know what they're called, some kind of vine. And they leave their little footprints on it. But anyhow, it had vines on it. It was obviously left somewhere for dead. And the guy before me pulled it out and got this started. And then life changes, things happen. He went to some other project. I'm sure he's doing something else. He's a worker bee kind of guy. But I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna get this finished. And if you guys are patient enough to watch me, you'll see it get finished. That's probably enough for today, don't you think? I'll do that off camera. I'll do that later. Always something for later. I had enough fighting under there. I get under that steering wheel and I bump my head and you guys will laugh and I'll just look stupid. So we'll quit doing that for now. I got one more strip to put on and I want to put a little square in here. Mostly just to keep the carpet flat. That was what I wanted to show you guys today. The seat covers, how I'm doing that. I'll leave you a break on that seat covers for a while. You don't want to watch any more seat covers. When I get to my 72, I'll show you those seat covers. But I want to say aloha. Have a good day. And I'll put, what is it, on the other channel. I don't know what it's going to be. I think we're going to do that up there on top. But I'll do it separately. Aloha.